Okay, hello Year 11. A bit of a one-off video this, but really exciting because I think it could be genuinely transformative in terms of what you achieve in your GCSE maths. Okay, so definitely worth sticking around for. Now on the screen, just a quick quote here, a really cool quote from a Kenyan marathon runner called Eliud Kipchoge, and it says that no human is limited. And he's basically saying that the mind, you can do whatever you want to do. And maybe you've heard this kind of thing before, you can do whatever you want to, and you think, okay, whatever. But I truly believe, right, if you've got the right systems in place and you need the right systems, which I'll talk about in a second, you can achieve whatever you want to. Because if you're working kind of really, really hard, but you're not kind of working ineffectively, you're not going to get as much as you could do. Now, the system that I'm talking about here is doing past papers really, really, really effectively, okay? Because doing a past paper and not marking it, you're wasting your time. Yeah, it sounds a bit harsh, but it's true. And if you do a past paper and you kind of correct it, and then you go on to a different past paper from a different year and you kind of correct it, and a different past paper, you're also wasting your time. If you mark and you go through your past papers properly, correcting any mistakes that you don't understand, you're going to be really, really, really well prepared for your GCSE maths, okay? But you've got to mark them properly and correct them properly, because essentially it's kind of the same questions over and over again, and it's the ability to spot what the question is asking. Because often, guys, you can do the content, you know a lot of maths. I've seen it in intervention. I've been so impressed, but it's just spotting what the question is actually asking. So I think I've created something that could be transformative in terms of doing past papers effectively, and I'll get it on the screen now. So if you go onto the MC Math Tutor, which is my YouTube, right, you've got now full GCSE foundation tier and higher tier past paper walkthroughs. So now if you go onto this, okay, and it's going to load up hopefully.
Go ahead.
Right, let's just say, right, you're doing a past paper. So this is the June 2017 paper 4 higher tier. And let's just say question 14, you get stuck. Now currently, if you get stuck at home, what do? You can try and look at a mark scheme, which are really complicated to read and not that easy to understand. Or you can maybe wait until you go into school and try and speak to a teacher. But that can often be a bit of a time delay, and it's frustrating. It's quite a slow process. But now, right, with these videos, you can self-mark the papers. It's transformative, right? You've got me blabbering away through the full solutions. So, for example, question 14, you get stuck. You can play it and watch me going through it, okay? And you can kind of self-mark, and hopefully you can understand what is going on. It's almost like having a tutor with you all of the time, guiding you through the questions. And you can do it whenever, wherever you want to, okay? Now, of course, it might be the case that you look through this and you go, well, I don't really know what the cosine rule is. I don't know what the sine rule is, which is what this question is on about. And that is fine. That is where intervention from Tuesday to Friday, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, from 3 p.m. until sort of 4:30 comes into play. Because you can come in and say, sir, I don't really quite get what the question, what the topics are all about. And then that is where I will send you videos going through the topics, and I will give you worksheets on it, and you can mark it with answers. So for example, this topic is the sine and the cosine rule. I would send you a link to your school email address and give you a bunch of exam questions. So you can look at these exam questions, okay, and then you can mark it with the answers, and it'll give you my videos going through that particular topic. So you almost got a way by which you can just go through papers just really effectively. There's no sort of delay, there's no waiting around. You can mark them, you can understand what is going on really, really quickly. Because look, if you do the past papers, right, and you correct them and you understand what is going on, and you've got 32 of them to do, you're going to be really, really well prepared for your exam, because the actual exam is doing a paper. So if you practice the past papers, which is essentially the exam, you're in. Okay, I'm telling you, the probability is you're going to do really, really well, particularly with maths, where it's kind of like the same things over and over again to an extent. It's not like a written subjects where you could get a bit unlucky on a day with the question, you don't quite understand the question, and you get the big written question wrong. Maths, you've got loads of questions to get marks on. Okay, so this is the system, right? Doing past papers effectively, correcting them. You've now got videos going through them. Okay, and just maybe kind of one more little thing. This up here is just sort of saying, right, if you come to intervention, I will give you one of these. And it's just a way to keep track of the past papers that you've done, because, right, previously, and what people often do is they sort of, they do a past paper from like 2017 and then from 2019 and then from 2022, and it's a mess. And there's no system to what is going on, okay? With you guys, right, we're going to do one paper at a time. We're going to do it. We're going to correct it properly, and then we can move on. And if you do this for all of the 32 past papers, you're going to be in a really good place. Now, finally, just to show you, right, the grade boundaries, to get a grade 7, right, which is a very well-respected grade at GCSE, you can get less than 50% on each of the papers because the papers are out of 100. So you can see here, you're getting less than 50 marks per paper and you can get a grade 7. So you don't even need to get a lot of the paper correct. Okay, if you get half the papers correct, if you get half of the overall marks, you can get a grade 7. It's unbelievable. Yeah, so it's not like you need to go and get 90% to get a grade 7 or whatever. 50%, even to get a grade 9, the top grade, you can drop 20 marks almost on each paper. That's like 4 or 5 mark questions. It's a lot. It's a huge, huge amount. Okay, so this is it. This is why students, this is why I truly believe, I've seen it, I've done it with students. They can jump from, if they work really hard as well, you have got to work hard, of course. But if you've got the right systems now with the past papers and the videos and the intervention, okay, you can go from grades 4 to grade 7. For example, I've done it with students. It can be done. Okay, of course, you've got to work hard. It's not just going to happen. You're not going to, you've got to have to work hard as well. But if you've got these systems in place, you can do it year 11. Okay. That is it. Go and get it, guys. And good luck. Of course, intervention. Any questions, let me know. But yeah, let's just go for it. Come on.